I described today to a colleague as a bit of a doozy. So I walked into work this morning to a task that felt pretty daunting. There were a number of requirements that felt unachievable, and there was a tight timeline, a lot of people to coordinate with, and that's all fine, right? That's any given day for any of us. But what was interesting about today for me was that I noticed I was in observer mode in my own life a bit more than usual. And it was really powerful for me. There were moments, several moments today, where it felt like the work I was trying to do, the task I was trying to accomplish, wasn't going to happen. And I could see myself, I could hear myself, I could feel it. I was so negative, like doors closed, options, gone. This wasn't going to happen. Nobody's with me on this. I feel alone in this work. And I noticed that. It was just a weird thing. I remember, looking off into the space a little bit, that sort of soft gaze out, and just thinking, I'm really not being productive. And what was cool about that for me is from that noticing, I could actually shift. I could shift into a more possible mindset, one where I could actually brainstorm, or I was choosing to reach out to a colleague, not to complain, not to vent and be frustrated, but to elicit some support, can I just bounce this idea off of you and you tell me, if you see it differently, or, and I chose to actually, communicate and verbalize some of the things that were challenging, not in a way of like it's somebody else's responsibility, but I think this is what needs to happen. Can I share that with you so that you can tell me if you see it differently? And I did get some different ideas, and I did get some, I don't know that needs to happen. Maybe it could be done like this, right? And some more possibility. And some more problem solving. And so it was pretty cool. So I reached out to people. It was another reminder that people do want to help. I had a colleague that communicated, I reached out and I said, hey, do you have a few minutes just to review something with me? And this person came back to me and said, I do, but I only have 10 minutes. Today is a really slam day for me. Right? That's somebody that's really willing to help, even in a time that's tight for them. And I imagine they're juggling a lot of deadlines too. So I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was pretty cool how I started to observe my energy and how I was showing up, and then be able to shift that. In the language of positive intelligence, to me, this is just a real world, sort of intense example of shifting from saboteur to sage, shifting and intercepting those saboteur energies, the negativity, it's not possible, to something more creative, something more clear-minded. And so super cool experience for me. If you're interested in this and want to know more about your saboteurs and how they show up for you, I encourage you to take the saboteur assessment. You'll see a link on my website and a couple other places, but take the saboteur assessment. It gives you some great information of how you can show up differently, intercepting those negative emotions and then shifting over to more positive, empathetic, creative, clear-headed emotions.